Welcome! It's a new day and a new life here on my channel. Today we're gonna talk about emotions and how you are not your emotions and how important this is to understand on the self-healing journey, on the self-development journey, and how this relates to chronic pain, migraines, as usual. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you for being here or watching from the recordings. I'll save it on my page again. And let's get into it. So what is an emotion and why do we have them? And why we're not them? And why is it so hard maybe sometimes and we feel like they may take the better of us and we feel that they may make us react certain ways, etc. We all know that, been there, done that. So an emotion, I have my notes here so that I don't forget something, but emotion is energy in motion, right? But why do we have them and why are we not them? Okay, so again, coming back to my anchoring awareness about everything's neutral, so therefore we are neutral in the core. Even the emotion in its core is neutral, but as a whole, let's say we are neutral, we are a being, okay? Our essence and our the truth about us, we are neutral, and we have these emotions to be able to feel. We have them so that we can feel and experience things, because this is a life experience. We came here to experience. So we can't be without them. We can't be without the flow, because the neutral state is change. Okay? Neutral state is change, which means constant renewal. Constantly your hair is growing. Constantly your cells are renewing themselves. Constantly your body is healing itself. That's the natural state. But unfortunately, if we connect with our mind, with the strength of how strong, okay, invite your mind now, because it's very, very strong. The fact that you've been able to, for example, create chronic pain in your life and within your body, it's your power, it's your strength. This is just an example of how strong you are. So the manifestation of any pain or any disease of the body is your strength, actually, because you are able to intervene with that flow. You're able to sabotage or block that flow, that natural flow. And it does serve us in certain ways. It does help us instantly, for example. We'll get into that. Okay, so in the core, you're neutral and you have these emotions. Why do we have the emotions? And also, important thing to say, the whole package of emotions, that's all of us. We need them all. We can't be without one of them. Or maybe if we are, then we are experiencing some kind of imbalance, okay? All of them as a whole, no matter what society says and what you have maybe learned to believe, that you can't be angry because you're a girl, or because you're not a good girl if you're angry, or you can't be scared, don't be scared, okay? Or, any emotion is good and is at the same level as any other. Joy, happiness, sadness, all of them. We need them all because they help us allow the flow. Together they help us allow the flow. Hello, welcome. So we need the whole package, right? And so they enable us to feel, right? Which we need to feel. And also determine, for example, danger. Because often also in the self-healing journey or in business creating or any project creating, we feel like if we didn't have the thing, the emotion in this case, yesterday it was the pain or whatever it is that we feel it's in our way, it's there for us. So we feel like if we weren't scared, we would take more steps and do more things or get to where we want to be. We feel like it's in the way. But no, it's there always for us. So whatever the emotion is, it's there for us. So it serves us to protect us, for example, from danger. But for the mind, danger is what the mind doesn't know. So whatever the mind doesn't know, it will create an emotion. This is new, I don't know this. Think about it. Or try if this is, are you sure? Okay, and then we have to reprogram our mind. Yes, this is possible in my reality. For example, reprogramming the belief. Once we change that belief, then the comfort zone, the neutral state will be different. Okay, so we modify basically the comfort zone, what is acceptable for us. And as we grow, the comfort zone changes, but always we get used to what we know, because the mind likes what it knows, but it doesn't like what it doesn't know. Okay, and healing, the self-healing journey is about acknowledging that I don't have to feel pain anymore. Especially with chronic pain, I don't have to experience life with pain, but I have created pain as a coping mechanism, acknowledging of this, because that was the only way I knew how to do it. Due to circumstances in my life, whatever happened, I have created the mind patterns that I have to go with pain, with the feeling of pain. I have to experience certain things. It can be overexcitement even. It can be fear. It can be, okay, and then it's a accumulation again of the emotions. So that's where we layer it. And when we want to change it, we are releasing the emotions. That's why often we talk about this, that we're releasing something, allowing the flow again. And we have to transform the mind into new beliefs. So in my new reality, I don't need pain to experience this certain emotion, for example, or this life experience. And I replace it with what I choose. I have to replace it with something, because always, actually, the comfort zone in our mind is the same. It's like a database, you could imagine it. It's like it's always limited, actually, because the unlimited possibilities that we have here are only limited by our personal mind. Okay, so we can invite something new, but actually we're replacing it. Okay, this is, for example, lack and abundance. Okay, those are the polarities, because again, in the core, it's all neutral, but we choose which polarity we are going to be in, and then our mind chooses one of the beliefs, because that's why you can believe that, for example, let's relate it to money, that you have lack of money in comparison to someone, but you have abundance of money in comparison of someone. So that's why that's the polarity we choose, which we want to see it from. Okay, always it will be neutral, but we choose which polarity, and then the polarity grows. That's only our belief. We have a certain amount of money. It is limited in only our reality, because globally it's not limited. Okay, globally it's an infinite source, like everything, like energy, like healing yourself, all of this. Okay, and back to the emotion. What can happen? Okay, so two situations. I will try to explain this on an example and relate it to the chronic pain, because that's why we're here, and how we are not the emotion. Okay, so sometimes we can maybe feel that the emotion takes over us, but that's when we let ourselves be defined by it. Okay, when we connect to the emotion, it's always important to understand on any self-development journey that in the core, again, I repeat it, but it's never enough, that it's neutral. You are a neutral being. The emotion is something that is flowing through you, that is there, can be there, concentrated, which then is the manifestation of pain or some uncomfortableness within your body, but that is the stack and layers of the emotions, the energy in emotion. Okay, so actually it's only energy, because we talked about this. Everything is energy. Okay, so once we define ourselves with the emotion that is supposed to flow only through us and serve its purpose, protect us instantly. Now I feel fear, so there is something dangerous. And I choose to feel that fear. I feel it, I let it flow through, and it's gone. And I can go back to the harmonized state. I can go back to the neutral state. But in the second case, if I am not able to feel that fear, or it's so strong and I'm not able to process it at that moment, I don't know how to work with my emotions. This is why we carry the bag of stuff from childhood, for example. Because any even insignificant small situation can become a traumatic situation in terms of the body, in terms of how it manifests, in terms of it makes like an energetical scar within us. And that's where the emotions are saved. Okay, the energy isn't in motion anymore, and it's saved in somewhere in the body. And then it, after some time, after long-term mind programming is also strengthening this belief. It can manifest as some kind of uncomfortableness, so pain, even disease or chronic pain, etc., etc. And it is a series of these emotions that haven't been able to be processed. And also why it multiplies and why we strengthen that manifestation of pain in our body is when it occurs in the reality as if situations are repeating themselves. It's a pattern, because it is a mind pattern, and with this we are supporting the manifestation of pain within our body. So we create subconsciously situations that create that same emotion. But we usually don't want to feel through that emotion, because it's always the body has a self-healing tendency. So it will always bring up the stuff that needs to be processed whenever it's the right time for it. Or the body always asks, hello, I'm here. This pain or something is here knocking on the door. And if you're ready to be there with it and release it, then it will, with the release, bring that emotion that was locked in it. But that can be always scary, because we have learned to not feel certain emotions. We have learned to not be connected to our emotions in a way where it's neutral, because we have maybe forgotten how to feel emotions very well, because it wasn't safe for us. It wasn't safe for us to be angry. It wasn't safe for us to be scared. It wasn't safe for us to be sad. Good girls and good boys aren't angry and aren't mad, aren't crazy, and all of this. So we suppress this within our body, and then along the way we support it, and then it manifests into chronic pain, because it's still there. It's still there, and it needs to be released. So connecting to it is the easiest way, acknowledging that it's there, but very, very important, you are not that emotion. That is energy that needs to be in motion. So it means not defining yourself with what you feel. That is significant, and it's a breakthrough with work with pain. Any work with pain. Wish I knew this. Well, 3 years ago when I was the one. I thought I was suffering with pain. Pain was happening to me. Now it's here with me. Now I'm not defined with it anymore, because I know it needs to be there. It's there for a reason. Any pain, any uncomfortableness that comes up, that arises, is there at the right moment, at the right time, at the right place, and you are ready to deal with it. But super important approach is, but there we go wrong, usually. I used to very well, that's why I'm here now, to sharing my wisdom. But the problem occurs when we define ourselves with that emotion and we begin to think wrongly that we're that emotion, which means, for example, we identify ourselves with our anxiety, with our pain, with our depression, with anything that's uncomfortable, and we learn to believe that our self-worth depends on that. Our self-worth, that it depends on what we feel, how we feel at the moment. Okay, so we start pushing ourselves down. For example, I feel and conditioning ourselves with the connectedness and identification with an emotion comes also the self-harm. This is the pattern of the self-harm. Creating pain for yourself is self-punishment. Okay, you don't have to create that pattern, but we need to understand that we are not that emotion. We are not what we're feeling at that moment. Because if we identify with the emotion, we lock the energy and we disconnect from ourselves, from the neutral, from the being. We're the being. We need to keep reminding ourselves, I'm the being and I'm not what I feel. And what I feel just has to flow through, or it's there for some certain reason. We usually know very well why it's there, but the answer is in that calling, in that intuition. It's in the center of us. So we need to connect back to ourselves, to the being, and not to the emotion, because if we disconnect from ourselves and we spiral in the emotion and we start conditioning ourselves that if I have this pain, I can't do this. Oh, I wish I could, but I can't because I'm anxious, stressed, depressed, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. And we condition ourselves and we define ourselves according to this. And we base our possibilities on this. It's a very, very good excuse. It's a good self-sabotage. I can't because, I can't have a pain-free life, or I can't be stress-free because the weight of the world lays upon my shoulders. But this is identification with our life situation, with our emotions, and not being in the truth, which is neutral, and it's the being. We are a human being. We came here to be. And whenever we disconnect from the truth, there is the connection with an emotion, and there we feel pain. Again, I repeat, as I had in one of my previous lives, that pain is only a construct of a mind. I love it because I used to believe pain so much. It was more real than anything in my world. Migraines and pain took over my life, and now years later I discovered that pain is a construct of mind. It's a belief. If I don't believe I need to feel pain, I have no pain. I don't need to feel pain. Okay, it's great. It's just, I don't know why it makes me laugh these times always, because I think it's so absurd compared to where I've been and what I've learned that it just makes me laugh. Okay, so anyway, And if that's triggering for you, welcome it. It's great, because once it was triggering for me, and I wasn't able, and the awareness of, obviously, the acceptance. Yes, I create my pain, therefore I can change it. Yes, I am able to choose between my emotions. Yeah, this is big. There's big wisdom, big acceptance, big awareness. From that comes change, because acceptance of myself and acceptance, yes, the pain, it's here in my body, but it doesn't define me. Therefore, this brings relief. This is what opens the emotional blocks in our body, those painful places in our bodies, chronic painful places. That's what opens it. Any denial or resistance to pain strengthens it and presses it down and makes it stronger. So anytime we want to escape our pain, whether it's, in this case, whether it's psychological, mental, physical, whatever we want to escape it, we go to watch something, scroll, we go to complain about it to other people. Oh, I have this pain, blah, blah, blah. We support ourselves in the lie of pain, okay, in the belief. It's a belief, but you can see it as truth or lies. It's the same. The core is neutral. So it's a neutral belief, but we choose the polarity of how it will manifest into our body. Okay, so so any resistance to it, any denial of it, any trying to escape it, or trying to skip it, or suppress it, medication, etc., only strengthens it, unfortunately, and builds it up, because the calling has to become louder, right? That's why long-term medication, for example, at a certain point, that medication doesn't work anymore, doesn't have that same strong effect, because the body is trying to call. The body will always try to heal itself. The body will always try to alert you, and the mind, okay, a loud, overwhelming mind is also the sign of unprocessed emotions, unchosen. If you have in human design the open center, energetical center of your head, the crown chakra, you're receiving all the stuff. But if you don't make the selection between what's yours and what's theirs, what serves you for your purpose and what doesn't, then you become overwhelmed. Then you start stacking the thoughts, and this results in the anxiety, something overwhelming, depression that just like goes on top of us. It's heavy. Okay, those are the layers of those unprocessed emotions. But actually, even denial and ignorance of those emotions is supporting them, is connecting with them. Because if we deny them, and if we believe they're not there, hello, welcome, then we are actually supporting them, unfortunately. Okay, so careful with this. And let me see what I have here more. Your being and emotions are what flows through you and enables you to feel. They enable you to understand your body and yourself, but emotions are not you. This is very important, okay? So they are here to allow us to experience not only protection, but joy and satisfaction and excitement and all the feelings. So we can develop them or suppress them. If we develop them, we are able to feel more, right? That's where you become maybe more sensitive to things, more open, because you're opening up those capsules of saved emotions, and you are able to then feel what usually you weren't able to feel, or these days I'm feeling. Okay, well, they're within you. There, I have a question here. I will read it because I forgot that after I saved the live, you can't see it anymore. So, hello. These days I'm feeling truly emotionless. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Perfectly normal. Every day can be different. And that is also a feeling. If you're feeling emotionless, actually it's an emotion. Okay, so accept it, invite it. That's how you're feeling right now, and that's okay. But again, go back to the core. You are not what you feel. You're not your emotion. You are neutral, you are being. Maybe even that means that you're harmonized if you feel emotionless. Maybe it means that you're at peace with yourself, etc., etc. Okay. Yeah, it can be good. There's always the two polarities to everything. Okay, because yeah, also the society maybe made us believe that we always need to feel something. We always need some stimulation. But opposite is true. Experiencing boredom and learning how to be bored, how just to be and not to feel and go through overwhelming things. That's a strong experience and can strengthen you in your confidence, in your daily meditation, in your being able to meditate, being able to calm down, being able to reconnect with yourself. So all of it is great. That's the great part about the self-healing journey. It's always there. You're always exactly where you're supposed to be. So you're always experiencing and you're presented with the opportunities that will help you get to actually what you want to feel. So if you're saying here, I'm feeling bored, that might be the greatest opportunity towards achieving harmony, peace, and acknowledgement, satisfaction with yourself. Okay, all of those are about observing and discovering yourself, who you are, and what is important for you, what's the priority. Not able to focus on studies, don't want to talk to anyone, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Want to go out there. Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with, because sometimes, and especially throughout the cycles, throughout the natural cycles, we should actually be feeling different things. We shouldn't overstimulate ourselves. We shouldn't always be needing to be there for others. Sometimes it's just time to be there with ourselves and do nothing and watch the wall, the empty wall, and breathe. And that can be a very powerful spiritual experience and can bring you a lot of understanding and acknowledgement, because once we are able to calm down and calm our mind, this comes when we stop identifying with that emotion. Whatever we feel, that's okay, but I'm not my emotion, I'm being. I reconnect with myself, and a lot of wisdom of why I'm in this situation, for example, comes flooding in. And that's where actually those core memories from childhood, suddenly something pops up, or from your life, something that you have never thought, or for many years you haven't thought about, and it comes in. Because only when we calm down and reconnect with ourselves, then we allow to receive. Because also that's one problem of what we sometimes feel the imbalance in. It can be either with giving or receiving. Either of those polarities create an imbalance. If we feel like we're not receiving enough from the world, abundance, etc., etc., we again need to disidentify from the emotions. We need to understand we're not the emotions. They're here for us. They're here to guide us. But in the core, we're not the emotion. So only when we calm down and reconnect with ourselves through our breath, through just being there, through being able to be bored, through being able to know nothing, to just be, not being identifying with whatever's going through my head, whatever am I feeling right now. That is actually where I'm opening myself to receive wisdom, to channel into my life what happened, for example, but not thinking about it. It will come flooding in on its own in the right time. Once there's space for it, when you open the space, you create the space. Because when we're concerned with the emotions and we're so connected to them, that's also where we close the space. We believe we're the emotions, we connect with them, and we keep spiraling in them, usually, unfortunately, down, okay, in anxiety, depression. We believe we're these feelings, but we're not these feelings. And with identifying with them, we close our chakras, we close our energetical centers. We're not able to receive the wisdom. And the wisdom will come in a form of telling you how to change things, how to adjust your things, how to adjust the way you are doing whatever you are doing. Because the doing has to be always aligned with the being. Okay, I'm going to finish off with reading what I have in my notes. So the emotions, as I said, they enable you to understand your body and yourself, but emotions are not you. And whatever you start believing that whenever you start believing that what you feel is who you are, then it's like you start digging yourself a hole because you're separating from yourself. Emotions are here for you, but are not you. They help you get into a flow and experience different things and feel different things, but you should not be connected to them. And you need to start observing them, letting them flow through you, but not connecting to them. So that's a great way. And also the second is breath work, as usual, breathing into them. I have experienced something strong whenever you need to do something maybe hard for you, or you have to suddenly do something that will be just energy consuming. So bringing awareness to your breath during that thing, whatever it is, you need to know. You need to do this. And also, it's going to be maybe horrible, painful. For me, it's dealing with taxes and documents and moving from countries to countries. So this is usually what could normally bring me anxiety, but if we bring awareness to that situation, okay, it will probably create some emotions because I'm probably have an aversion to all this and I fear that I'm gonna mess it up or something. But if we bring awareness to the now moment, we're doing it, but we're connected with our body at the same time. We breathe consciously during doing that. Then probably it won't accumulate the emotions together and won't create more pain, because I used to have this before. I had this pattern that when I did something and pushed harder, but basically in those situations that are hard, we stop even breathing. We stop being connected with ourselves. We stop being aware of ourselves. And then it has to be equilibrated. So then the emotion explodes into pain or into something uncomfortable. So yeah, that can be one of the things, bringing awareness to the breath during whatever you're doing. Yeah, you're right. I think I was too much available for others a few times ago, but I'm in this condition for more than 1 week, and in the back of my mind, I'm also thinking that I'm depression or something. All right, thank you for being here. Whenever, it's not really a question, but I will try to answer. We can be in these feelings. That's also can be a triggering thing, that if the concentrated feelings last, the confusing feelings, and it keeps coming up, it can last weeks. It can bring us down, but if we stop identifying ourselves with those emotions, it's more likely that it will be faster for us to come back to ourselves. If we connect ourselves from those emotions back to ourselves, then most probably it will be faster. But let me know if you have any more questions. And thank you for being here. And today is Friday, right? Yeah, so tomorrow we have a spiritual practice on the live instead of talking. It will be also talking. And let's see. I still haven't thought of one. And let's see what we're gonna do. So thank you for being here. Let me know if you have any questions. You can still sign up for my online coaching program for migraine specifically. It's until Sunday. You can sign up. So I love to see you there. It's a special offer now. You can find it on my profile. And other than that, have a wonderful day, weekend, if you're going away for the weekend. And I'll